mission, we're back in Oblivion. And in Oblivion, I'm kind of going to go through what a bunch of these stuff is. This stuff is explanatory. This is your mailbox. Anything gets lost in your mailbox gets sent there. Okay. Anything is a percent. Some things, like most of your loot will go in there. And if you get anything from your daily events, I know the events one's sent in here too. Not being mistaken for. There's another option actually. Here we go. Shop. Shop also has an inbox. Your inbox is actually separate from your mailbox, which is a little confusing. Your inbox is like if you purchased anything or you have a pack from your PlayStation over sort for being a member, it was sent to your inbox, not your mail. So your mail will not give you this notification. The only notification you're going to get is when you pull up these tabs in your battle pass, it's going to give you a little red marker like shown here. And then you have to literally scroll all the way down to your inbox, and then it will say that there's something in here. It doesn't really explain that very well, but that's what that is. This little gadget you guys saw earlier, this is your infiltration missions terminals, which is easy access to any of the infiltration missions on your map. This one over here, which shows a little world, this is just special operations, which is similar to the other one. Easy access to those missions without having to run around the whole map trying to figure it out. This little hand thing over here, this is actually where you can go. You can click to activate it. It will show gold when it's ready to actually master your rank up. Your master rank is this right here. This, I believe, at the current time of this video, it goes up to 30. Not being mistaken for your character level or your weapons level. Your character level is always be maxed at 40. Even though if you reset them, it still go max at 40, basically like prestiging, without it actually saying so. Your mastery is everything basically combined into one. And this is where you would be able to increase that, which can increase capacity on things, etc. Here, it's kind of explanatory. This is this bot, the Descendant instructor. The Descendant instructor gives you tips and instructions of what to do with your gold weapons, how to do it, etc. Instead of having to look it up. And actually have it in-game, which is very useful if you listen to what he has to say. This over here is your storage box. Stop being mixed up with your inventory. Your storage box is basically a larger storage unit, like a chest in the other games. You can store a whole bunch of stuff. I believe it's went up with my mastery rank. And over here, which on mine it shows gold, this is Aina, I don't know how to say her name. She's a research genius. Over here you can craft your descendants, your weapons, parts, materials, which comes very useful in the game and as you go through it. Also here the game kind of walks you through it. You don't know where to find something or anything like that. You can click tabs within tabs and it will show you exactly where to farm these. She doesn't seem very too happy to see you, but more than happy to nerd on with her research. Over here you have your modulars, which I'm probably saying it wrong, which I call them mods. This is the guy that can enchant your mods, dismantle your mods, or combine your mods. Dismantling your mods, I recommend just to dismantle duplicates. The lower ones, because you can combine them to make different ones. With this tab, it's kind of give or take. I'll go by tier, because as you know, you're going to get that tier. Instead of it being kind of mixed up, it's give or take by percent that I'm not 100% sure with. I do highly recommend to do this with translucent mods, which are your red mods. If you keep getting duplicate on one and you really just like, I really don't want these, why do I keep getting duplicates? You get 4 duplicates, you have a chance to possibly get one that you do not have, which they have a lower percent drop rate than you want at the farm if you get it. Win-win, right? Nothing to really lose if you have extra besides time. Enchant mods allows you to enchant your mods that you have equipped onto your weapon or your descendant. The little bar markers, like shown here, it has all grayed out. Basically tells you how many times you can level it up. Now, there's an easier way of doing it, like if I click this one here, it'll allow you to upgrade it all the way up to what you have, instead of a constant to do it one at a time. Quick, simple, and useful. Here, this is a shopkeeper. Now, I don't really see really much use in him because he doesn't really have high tier stuff, so I'm still learning on him. You can purchase equipment from him, which once again, I don't quite understand why it'd really be useful. Because there's a lot of load stuff. I guess I'm still have to learn about that. And you can also sell stuff to him. Now, I don't really think the selling thing is really useful. Because you can get coins and stuff for it, yes. But you can also farm coins just as much. Except having to get rid of your materials that you can dismantle for other stuff. This is your workbench. Your workbench, you can upgrade the levels of your weapons, which is with this here. Of course, you have to have another weapon in order to do so. Like, I'm going to pick this golden one here as an example. Now, each weapon, I think it's like certain types. Don't quote me on that one. You can click the weapon to transmute the level to it, which will show over here what weapon you have. And then when you click one, it will show, hey, you sure you want this, for example, level 7 to be going into here. Now, I recommend finding the highest level gear you can farm. If the highest level you can farm is 86, I'll go for it. If the highest you can go is 100, I'll go for it. I say it that because these materials here do take some time to make. And it takes maybe about 10 seconds or so, but everything's a farm game. And it is purple. Purples are not complicated really to get, but they're more higher tier than blue. Weapon adjustments. Weapon adjustments, we're going to use this weapon as an example again. It's basically like your side abilities to them you can add to them. It allows you to add 4. And once again, you have to have certain materials in order to do this. You can lock specific ones in that you don't want to change, or you can just try your luck with it and re-ingest it. Now, as an example, I'm going to end up locking these purple ones, and I'm going to, well, I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go. So every time I lock it, it will show 2. Like, I unlock it, it shows 1 up here. And I'll lock it again, 2, 5. So basically, the more you lock, the more it takes of this material. So readjusting it allows you to basically make your weapon stronger, certain builds. I've been going with purple and gold. Now I'm sure blue can be just as good, but I don't know a lot of these weapons. You see, like that one, I got a gold one. Now, all gold does not mean best, and I have to get myself from that. It's just all in preference and what type of weapon you're using. Kind of like on some of the weapons, for example, I think this one's like electricity, and I don't have one on here. Oh, change speed, but change speed could be useful, but let's just say if this one said fire. I really wouldn't need a element of fire, even though if it is gold. Wouldn't make really much sense. But that's just my opinion on that, my thoughts. The last thing on here, well actually third thing, excuse me, is the unique abilities, which is kind of what I discussed earlier with these gold weapons. The unique abilities, which we show in this little icon up here in these little square box things, you have 4 of them. Now this is 4 not including the one that you have, so 5's in order to collect, including the one you have, don't make them stronger. You get the same weapon like this one, which is in the battle pass of the current of this video. You can combine it about 4 times, and it would increase its voltage, accelerate energy, grenaders thing. The unique ability levels, basically, is what it's leveling up. And the max at the current time is 5. So these will fluctuate between how much powerful it is, how much damage it does, along that order. Which is very useful, especially with these golden weapons. Your reactor enchantments is, see, I'm going to just click one here. Click on a reactor, and it will increase it, I believe it's by 2 or 3. So you have your attributes or your little skills, like this was a sub-attack power, a skill critical hit. At the bottom here, now I don't know how to change that, or if you can, or if it's just world chance, but that, I believe it's overall it increases the power of it. So it will increase skill power and sub power in the process, but only could do it twice of what it already has. That's how I understand how that works. Well, once again, I don't recommend really doing that unless it's a higher one and you really like that one. Like upgrading the lower stuff isn't really relevant in these type of games, in my opinion. It's just kind of wasted resources. All right, so that's the workbench. Almost forgot about her. Now her over here, which I really don't want to click on her because she might make me go into a thing, but She's actually a training lady. She's a good way to go into free training. You don't have to face any actual real combat. You can test your hit markers, modulars, etc., and see how much damage they do, and see if your build is actually working properly without getting massacred in the middle of a Vulgus battle. So I do recommend using her for learning purposes, or maybe just for fun, or maybe small challenges. Don't forget she's there. She's there. You don't have to necessarily have to go into a random private thing and see if it works. Alright, so him.
The space-time fabric of the void is
This is
extremely
void interception
illogical.
battles. Void interception battles you can do it on normal or hard. Void interception battles are basically like your bosses. They come in normal at first. You get these first group of them, and they get harder and harder. I believe hard mode also has different type of bosses. Keep in mind, the harder it gets, the more you want to exploit your elements, your damage, and what they're weak against. You might get away with Gravewalker, just going in there and beating it up with a level 1 weapon. But when you go up to Hangman, Swamp Walker, you're not going to really do very much good with that. This is another way of accessing it. You can also access it through your map, which on my remote, it's in the middle, but your map button, I believe you hold it, or at least I hold it, to get it pulled up like this, on whatever console you use. It gives you an option on the map on all the way at the side, avoiding inspection battles on hard, avoiding inspection battles on normal. So maybe you don't not in town and you want to fast travel to this, it actually allows you to fast travel through there. And all the way over here. I'm actually not familiar with this, so we're going to learn this together. Alright, so ignore search device. Open portal. Okay, I guess this is just another option within the town, I'll call it, to have access to all of them at once. I could be wrong with that, I just never realized what that was. But I guess it does say location. Okay, so that's basically everything in Oblivion, if I'm saying that right. Now, when you go into your access your buttons, it can be kind of confusing. You have your map button, which is self-explanatory, your quest button. It allows you to do your main quests, side quests, and it even has a little juicy tidbits, I call it. A lot of it has to do with Bunny to start with. You just send it exclusive quests. But, like it says here, I'm currently Glade. It will not let you play it unless you have Bunny. Your social is kind of self-explanatory. It shows who's in your lobby, who you recently played with, or maybe you got some good friends that are on. It shows you if they're on or not. It also shows you if you got pending requests and all that. Access info. Access info is very useful. You can access this info within the map. You can access this info within a safe space. I recommend within a safe space because it is an online game and enemies will try to kill you. Especially on harder difficulty, they will kill you in the middle of trying to do this, which might cancel it out and it'd be quite annoying. Here you Descendant tab, which gives you a little research on like where to find the materials, what they do, etc. Without actually having to go all the way back to the research lady and try to find these materials, which I'm still trying to get myself in a good habit of that. It has your weapons as well as enchant materials. They even sectionize it, so like you can just click one tab and not have to continuously click tab inside the tab. Modulars, which I found very useful, you can search as well. Now, each Pacific round does have their own mod. Like, you might have the same mod of saying, I'm just thinking one up, modular speed for generator round, and it says that you have it. And you might need one for special round. Keep in mind, these symbols, keep a close eye on that, because that would actually tell you what type of weapon it's for. Chat components, tells you where to get those, which if you look for, like, a lot of people say in-game, but I just say your preference of how you want to play. If you want to gather everything, where it's gold things, it actually tells you where they are. Since a lot of these things can be very confusing to remember what dropped where. You also get your core materials, which has to do with I call it gold or lower drop rates of items, what they drop. the basic materials, which is self-explanatory, the basic, which is purple. The alpha materials, which I call them relics. It tells you where they drop. Um, the gold ones, mutations, etc., which a lot of those mutations and stuff will drop in hard difficulty. The harder difficulty, you get a higher percent chance depending on what you're farming. And down here, which target items, which I'm still kind of getting used to it, you can actually like, I'm not exactly sure how to do it on my PlayStation yet. I've done it once unintentionally. You could put at least up to 4 targeted items on here. So if you want to farm like your main quest, or maybe you want to do your normal stuff and you don't want to lose track of what you just saw and you want to do, you put up the 4 things here, and it will put it into your quest log. So it makes it easier to get hold of. Your journal is just like mini achievements that you have in the game, or at least the rewards part. It gives you achievements for Descendants, seasons, growth, etc. You can collect them. It gives you a lot of it has to do with like your little nicknames that they have on the game. Sometimes it gives you certain emotes, not patterns, sticker things, and colors. Colors are locked to certain specific items. Unfortunately, Nexus has not changed that. So you might have purple for your Ajax, but you will not have purple for your Glay. Rewards tab, records, sorry, dyslexic. Records tab is basically like little juicy tidbits within the game. It shows up like a little ball. And it kind of tells you how many you have for that specific thing. Colossus, well, I actually said it right that time. Descendants, mission reports, etc. It tells you what percent you have collected out of the game. Sometimes the battle pass has to do with this, and it'll kind of push you to, hey, adventure out. It's not really a major thing, it's just more of a preference if you want juicy tidbits or want to collect everything in the game. The journal kind of tells you where you're at. With a bunch of that little talk and stuff and how it all works, that'll be it for this video. Thank you so much, Knights, for listening to me rambling on. I'll see you guys again on Love and Ace.